Hey guys, it's Doc Jen. Welcome back and welcome to your last day of Strong Mobile Free. I am so incredibly proud of you. Today is all about the word commitment, and you are showing it right now by showing up. Even if you didn't move through this last day, you're showing up. So you're showing commitment to your body, to your health, and continuing to want to learn and improve and move through life. We can't move through life and live longer and create more longevity within our lives unless we start to move into it and actually commit to our health. So I just want to start by saying I'm so incredibly proud of you. This is truly commitment. And now my encouragement to you is to continue this commitment day forwards, moving on and continuing to learn about your body. This is the one body that we have, so we get to take care of it throughout this lifetime. And I'm so proud of you for making it here. Now, today is all about mobility, but it's going to be in a different way than you ever thought. We're not actually going to do that many exercises. We're going to focus more on how we create longevity in our bodies that actually helps to improve range of motion and create longevity over time. Now, we want this carryover in range of motion. We don't want to just have it one day by someone stretching us and then the next day we have none of it again. And that's because we need to tap into our nervous systems. We need to improve the way that our fluids are moving. And if we can tap into both of those, we can truly optimize what we're doing through actual exercises. So today we're gonna start, I'm gonna grab a pillow here, and we're just gonna lie on our back. Now, there's 3 different areas that we're gonna go over today, and these are called neurolymphatic points. Now, there's many more points than just 3 on the body, but we're gonna focus on the 3 that kind of encompass our core, our center, because this helps to create stability. And when we have stability and fluids moving better here, we're gonna have better control of our extremities, okay? Now, the most important thing when you're going through neurolymphatic points is breathing. I don't care if you're doing this while you're working out and doing squats. You can do it when you're in your car and sitting. You can do it lying down before you get out of bed or lay down to sleep. But the most important thing is that we're focusing on our breath. So we go back to what we learned on day 1 and refresh, and you can go back there and refresh your memory if you need to, okay? But we're really wanting to focus on that breath, slowing down so we can tap on to that nervous system. Now, when we stimulate these different points, it's actually amazing and really cool because it's where the nerves and the lymphatic system cross. And so that's why it's called a neurolymphatic point. And when we can do that, we stimulate that nervous system to calm down, and we stimulate those fluids within the lymph to start to move and drain better, okay? And when we get fluids moving, that's where we get fascia sliding, that's where we get improved mobility and improved carryover. Now again, focusing on that breath, slowing it down. We're just gonna do about 30 seconds in each spot. So first spot, fingers are gonna be right underneath that rib cage. So right underneath that rib cage, and we're just kind of wiggling back and forth. Breathing. You could breathe through the nose, nice and slow, or you can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can close your eyes. Whatever you need to kind of calm down. Now, the touch here is just kind of like a stimulation. So you just want to be kind of rubbing. It's only 30 seconds in each spot. We want it to stimulate it, so you want to feel it, but you don't want pain. So go to the point where you're like, ooh, I feel that, but don't push harder, okay? Not so light that you can't feel it, but not too tough. After that, we're gonna move to the sternum. So I'm gonna take my fingers and use my knuckles, and I'm gonna go right onto my sternum and kind of be rubbing right into there. Now you'll find areas where some of them might feel a little bit tougher than others, like, ooh, that's a little bit tougher. Stay in those areas a little bit, but remember, don't press too hard. So again, focusing on that breath, longer exhales, really keeping that carbon dioxide within us a little bit more than expelling it out. So that's why we want to slow down the breath a lot so that we're not over breathing and we can actually get that oxygen to move throughout our body, those fluids to move within our body. Okay? Now you might think, well, of course this is a little bit stimulating, right? I'm rubbing on a bone. But the reality is if I rubbed on my elbow, it wouldn't feel the same because that's not where the nerves and the lymphatic system are crossing. The last area is going to be underneath that collarbone. So I'm actually going to take my fingers and kind of wrap it underneath that collarbone just like I did for the rib cage. and just be rubbing back and forth, kind of stimulating that area, and again, focusing on the breath. So it's just about 30 seconds in each place. And again, you can do this when you're warming up and squatting. You can do this when you're doing your mobility warm-up. You could do this when you're sitting in the car and feel like you need to calm down a little bit. You can do this in so many different areas, and that's why it's so cool to kind of just get that stimulated and relaxed, okay? Next thing that we're gonna do to, again, tap into that system is we're actually gonna use a bath towel. So this is just one of my bath towels, and I'm actually gonna roll from one corner. I'm gonna roll it all the way in, okay? And we're gonna do what's called like a gut smash, but it sounds crazy, and the reason we're using a towel is because we don't want to foam roll a lacrosse ball to really get into that gut area. That could be a little delicate. So we want to be friendly and kind to our bodies, okay? So we're gonna use this towel, and as you can tell by the way I rolled it, it kind of creates this downward effect, so it's a bit more of a dome. And I'm gonna lay on my belly, kind of allowing my rib cage to go over it and allow myself to completely relax. Now you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I can feel my heartbeat. And this is feeling really crazy and uncomfortable. You don't have to keep it right in the middle. If that's the case, and this is new to you, move it to the one side underneath that rib cage, okay? And it might still be feeling crazy. So one of the tricks that I learned from Jill Miller actually is to use what we consider PNF. So it's more of a neuro trick, okay? And it's gonna get your muscles to relax a little bit better. So we take a deep breath in, hold it at the top. Now contract the abs away from the towel. Contract, contract, contract as much as you can. Contract, contract, and then as you breathe out, everything relaxes. Okay, and do that a few times until you can really truly feel like your body can relax, like your belly can melt into the towel. And you just want to be, again, focusing on those long exhales, focusing on that breath, focusing on relaxing and not over breathing, not squinting, not feeling in pain, and move the towel around in different spots. So you want to do this for, you could do it for 2 to 5 minutes. You can find different areas. I really like to use the Coregeous ball, but we're not going to use that right now. But that's from Tune Up Fitness, and I'll leave a link at the bottom so you can definitely grab the Coregeous ball. It's grippier, you can deflate it, and you can put it on the rib cage. It's a lot more comfortable actually than even a towel or a sheet. So using the Coregeous ball has been my favorite. And then after we're done with that, we can move that out of the way. We'll come back to the towel later. Now that everything's kind of opened up, we're gonna use our stretches now, okay? So one of the first ones here is we're gonna kind of go into a passive pec stretch. So you want your arms at about 45 degrees. You can bend the elbows a little bit if you need to, but it doesn't need to be really high, so we're not trying to force movement into the shoulder that's not there. So we want it about at 45 degrees. Keep the shoulder blade back the entire time, and we're gonna take this leg and kind of pull it over. Keep the shoulder blade back and open from the chest. The foot does not have to reach if your body doesn't allow. You might feel cracking in the spine. Great, you're just waking things up. But keep that shoulder back because we don't want to press into that anterior capsule. So keep that shoulder back. Feel that stretch through the chest and move the arms a little bit. You might need it a little bit lower. You might need one a little bit higher. You can hold on one side and do some breathing, or you can move back and forth like this. I like to go at least 5 to 10 times back and forth. Okay, after that, then we're going to actively get into an opener. Okay, so now I'm gonna look down at the mat the whole time. Lift my arms as high as I can. Activate those muscles in the back. Pull those elbows and wrists high, high, high. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Open up that chest. Try to get that same opening. Pull the hands back. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Now keep it squeezing as you bend. Keep the elbows lifted, wrists lifted. Reach and relax. Okay, so now we're teaching that chest, okay, you could be open and activated. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Pull those hands, reach them high, squeeze them together. Bend and coming out. Good. Let's do at least 3 more. Reach. Bend those elbows, keep them up, 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 up. Squeeze reach, bend, extend. Feels good, right? Reach, bend, keep that chest open, open, open. Think of that same chest opener that we were just doing. And we're just gonna do one more. Lift, bend, keep it high, keep it high, keep it high. Reach, pull, and extend. Oh, that should feel really good in that chest. Now, one last thing, just to continue opening up the front, we're going to take one foot. Now you can grab, this is where you can grab a towel or a sheet if you cannot quite grab the foot, and we want to relax. Now, normally I would want you to hold this for about 2 minutes. Now, if it can't touch the bottom, it's not all about the bottom, because now look at, my hips might rise. What it's actually about is tucking that tailbone under, squeeze those glutes. Now see what that quad stretch feels like. It might feel harder to pull the foot to, great, so keep it out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the glutes. Think about tucking that tailbone underneath you, and then pull. And breathe. So now we're just continuing to open up that front line, right? We opened up the gut, the rib cage, the chest. Now continuing down that front line into the quads, breathing, breathing, breathing. And then switch sides, try the other side. So again, if you need assistance, you can grab a rope, you can grab a stretching strap, you can grab a towel, you can grab a sheet, whatever you need to in order to grab this foot comfortably. And it's about tucking that tailbone under, squeeze those glutes, and then pull, okay? I want you to really think about relaxing and breathing and letting that foot just start to ease towards you. So it doesn't need to be an initial like yank on that foot. Shouldn't be like that. It should be nice and slow, squeezing those glutes. Keep those glutes squeezed so that you get a real stretch through that quad. Because remember, the quad attaches all the way up into the hip bone. So if the hip bone is down closer to the knee, you're not going to get as much of a stretch, and it becomes really easy. But now if we tuck that tailbone under and squeeze those glutes and then pull, we get a much deeper stretch into that quad. The breath is always the most important key, so about a minute or two here. Okay, come back to it at any time if you need to. We're gonna move on and do the last thing, which is my favorite way to close out a mobility session. Now you can take a foam roller if you have one of those basic long black foam rollers or long white ones, or you can take a towel, open it up, and we're gonna roll it. So we're gonna roll it long ways. Okay, you can also do this with like long skinny pillows or anything else you might have. I'm gonna grab my pillow again for my head just in case. And I'm gonna sit my tailbone at the very edge of it and then come down. Have that to support my head. Now that my spine is a little lifted, I can use those hands and fall right down just like a football post and have those elbows open. Maybe you need them a little bit lower, maybe you need it a little bit higher. The goal here is, again, stretch and open the chest passively. So this is my favorite thing to do, especially right before I go to bed or right when I get up in the morning. It just feels so amazing to allow that chest to be open and focus on the breathing and nothing else. We live such busy, crazy, fast lives, so to be able to take time to tap into that breath, to listen to our bodies, to connect, to gain clarity so that we can move forward, so we can commit to our bodies and our health. It's the most important thing, guys. So I really hope that you learned a lot through this challenge and that you continue to learn. This is barely scratching the surface because there's so much more that I can always be saying. 15 minutes isn't nearly enough, even if it's 5 different times. And so I really hope that you continue to take these tools with you and continue to learn. Continue to learn into your body, not just from me, but from anyone else. Spend as much time here as you need to. Sometimes I like to do 5 minutes. But just to close it out, I want to say thank you so much for taking your time with me Time is not something that we get back, so I always want to make sure that when you're with me, it's something that is of value to you and that you learn. So I'm so incredibly proud of you. I cannot wait to see what happens and what continues to open up within your body when you continue to explore. Give your body the love that it deserves, the listening that it deserves to continue to dive in, gain strength, gain mobility, gain awareness and stability. I'm incredibly proud of you, and if you have any questions, don't forget to email me at any time. Thank you guys. Love you so much.